All right, Coach. Place was popping the other night. Yeah, I know you like playing on campus. It's that tough. It's almost like a steel cage match. What'd you see? Big win against Providence. You had to like what you saw.
I just saw a team that came out and played defense. I thought they played defense for each other. It looked like it was 7 guys out there on the floor. I mean, we were just in attack mode everywhere defensively, fixing things on defense. And then I thought offensively we did a good job of creating tempo and sharing the basketball. I thought, the open guy, we passed it up for, one guy had a good shot. He gave it up for a much better shot.
That's nice to see. The Georgetown game, you got a big lead. Wilts away, you lose the game. Last night, it could have gone that way if you guys didn't show the character that you did. So I would think, as you and I have talked all year on the Red Storm Report, getting better in increments. And to me, that was an example of learning from a previous, I don't want to say failure, but, coming up short.
I think you're absolutely right. Finishing it. And you finish the way you started. We started off fast in attack mode. Defensively, we were aggressive. And then I think offensively, we were aggressive. And we did the same thing, I thought, in the second half. We got the floor spaced out. And at that time in the game, I thought Providence was a little tired. And so you all of a sudden now you're seeing the lane open up, and now we got guys that are screening and slipping to the hole, rolling to the hole, getting alley-oops to the hole, Rasheem getting in there and get to the free throw line. But I thought we continue to keep the pedal to the metal.
I thought there was a lot of good stories. I mean, not just the win, that's the best story, but Figueroa got hot from downtown. Dunn had his usual splash of every column on the stat sheet. And, listen, Coach, we got to talk about Arlington again. He didn't quite score 25 like he did against Creighton, but he knocked down some big triples late. The kid, every time I see him play, he's getting better.
Well, the more opportunity he gets, the more he's showcasing. And I got to attribute that to Marcellus. I think he's putting a lot of extra time in on his game. And I think he wants it. And he's our most physical player. He's got a great pair of hands, and he don't mind mixing it up. And, and in Big East and conference play, you're going to play teams with the physicalness. And I thought we matched the physicality of Providence, and I think he was probably had an opportunity to go out there and showcase what he's capable of doing. He's stepping out, knocking shots down, but more importantly, I think he's mixing it up.
Does he have the green light yet from anywhere downtown, or is that still a work in progress?
He's a work in progress.
Yeah, I got you. The anybody at this level, because it's the highest level in college basketball, you get in a rhythm, you feel good about yourself, you knock down a couple of shots. Most players at this level could do that. What's impressive about Arlington, and Champagny as well, to be fair, and Dunn, is that they're not afraid to take a big shot, even when things aren't going well up until that point. Speaks to their character.
It does, and it's funny because I pulled Marcellus on the side in the first half. And just, hey, let's make sure we take good shots and be selective about it. And, but then we came out of halftime, the first thing I said, stay aggressive. Mm-hmm. So and I think that's what they're doing. They're starting to play instinctively, and that's what you want. They play with no fear.
Talk about Mustapha Heron. Sad news, bad news for him. He's a terrific young man, great ambassador for the school. The school put out the release that, in all probability, done for the season, barring a minor miracle. That's my words, not theirs. We'd love to see him get back. Mid-season, now you have to redistribute minutes and different allocation of roles. But aside from that, you got to feel for the young man. He's a good kid.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Like I say, it's one of those lingering injuries that continues to, when you're playing with pain, it's you got to do what you got to do in terms of getting yourself right, and but it provides opportunities for somebody else. Mm-hmm. And we saw that early in the year. And I think that benefit these guys as they step into these minutes now, into the roles now, and so they're more ready for it. And we need them to be ready at this particular time.
And I know you'll appreciate this, Mike, because you're all about, character and building team chemistry. I looked over at him a few times during pregame warm-ups, Mustapha. During the game, you would have thought he was getting ready to play 30 minutes. I mean, he was as engaged on the layup line watching his teammates get ready for the game as he would be if he was taking a meaningful shot down the stretch. I mean, not every kid's going to be that locked in and that happy for his teammates when he can't play.
Well, I think that's a tribute to the culture that's taking place here with this basketball team. I think even though he's not out there physically, you can see he's out there mentally. He's engaged with these guys and trying to give them the experience, advice.
Yeah.
That is taking place for him.
Yeah, he's a sage young man, a great kid. So here we are, middle of February. And the season's coming down the stretch. It's a pretty daunting finish to the schedule. So how do you make sure that the kids stay in the moment, and not look at the big picture, that there's a lot of tough games, at least tough games on paper?
Well, I just think you take it one day at a time, one game at a time, one practice at a time, and we're playing some of these guys for the second time. So it's not like we're not familiar with them. They're familiar with us, we're familiar with them. And so I just think the league is really, really good. And on any given night, anyone can beat anyone. So I think the familiarity of already playing, the teams that we're going to play, let's line up, let's go play.
I thought it was really evident on social media the other day, Coach. Here I am, I'm getting ready for my radio show. I flip on Twitter. What is Coach Anderson doing? He's flinging out T-shirts, and he's going to the Student Center, imploring the fans to come to the game. You really immerse yourself within the student body, and it looks like you really have fun doing that.
Well, I'm part of the university. I'm part of this community, and so.
But not every coach does that.
I love engaging with our student athletes. Our students, and they were great. And guess what? They showed up and they showed out. And I want to really congratulate them and thank them. They created a great environment. But we had fun with it. I had some of the players with us. I thought we had Marcellus, Greg, and even Joshua. They were starting the siren. You can get over that.
I like this. That's a good thing. That's pretty cool.
And it's
a good tradition.
It got everybody's attention. I go to Starbucks, and and it's funny because now I get texts from a lot of people like, "Hey, I need a mocha grande and all that stuff with a shot of
shot of adrenaline."
Yeah, shot of adrenaline.
Yeah.
And but I thought it was kind of neat. It was cool.
Now I don't know if you're superstitious, but you gonna start ripping the tie off every game now, or what?
That was the first.
What was that?
That was the first there. It got hot in there. It got real hot.
Tell me about it.
I came out with the jacket, which I love a hot gym, but I came out of the jacket and that was for some other reason. But when I came out of the tie, I think it was kind of a signal to our players. Hey, let's finish this.
Let's finish it up. Good win, Coach.
Thank you.
Good job, Mike Anderson, head coach of the Johnnies, right here on the Red Storm Report.